Just sway your legs over side to side here, just like so. So just ease out any tension that you might have in your low back and your stomach. Now, with feet planted on the mat, just turn yourself over into a side lying position. So lying on your side, I want you to prop yourself up on your forearm. And then bend your knees so that your heels line up with your sit bones and your knees are bent. And you've kind of created a 90-degree angle, but my knees aren't all the way forward and they're not parallel with the front of the mat. My knees might be at the front of the mat, but my feet are actually in line with my sit bones. Okay. Now, very important here, pull the shoulder down away from the ear. You're going to keep this hand on the hip and your bottom ear towards your shoulder. Again, all of this area pulling away from your t-shirt. And we're going to lift the knee up and down. Now you're opening up in the hip area. You're working this hip area. So when you're doing the leg lift, the knee lift rather, you're really focused on opening the hip to do the lifting. You're not focused on the knee lifting up. You're rotating your hip and your buttock area, right? Lift and lift. One more. And lift. Now let's attempt to do that lifted with both hips off of the floor and do that again. Slightly more challenging. Let's try 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to progress that. Extend the legs straight out and lift to hip height and lower. 2, 3, everything still pulling back away from your shirt. 2, and 1. And bend both knees down now, all the way down with the hip. Okay, let's come onto our back before we transition to the other side. Get your heels fairly close to your sit bones without touching your hands here. And widen your collarbones with your feet hip-width apart. Now pull everything away from your t-shirt or your shirt there. Open your collarbones and curl your tailbone up so that you land across your shoulder blades. Now we're working strongly in the back side of the legs, in the buttock muscles, in the back of the thighs. Your inner thighs are engaged, pulling together, your rib cage pulling down, and your shoulders broad. And we're going to march the legs. We're marching 1, 2, 3. Just lifting that knee up to tabletop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the foot down and lower your spine down 1 vertebra at a time. Great. Roll over to one side and we're going to go over to the other side to do that side lying work now. So propping yourself up on your forearm, bend your knees so the knee is even with the front edge of your mat. Your heels are level and even with your sit bones. Put this hand to the hip and we lift up. Opening up in the hip, lifting the knee, really lengthening this shoulder away from the ear and lifting up through this side because it's never relaxing. Exercise is never a relaxed effort, but you do feel work without feeling tension, and that's what you want to create, is to work in a smart way without feeling like everything is so tensed up and aggravated. Now hold the knee down and let's lift the hip up this time and hold it up and then lift the knee again and down. Opening up your hip. 3, holding everything away from that t-shirt. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lower down, straighten the leg. See if we can do 8 lifts of the leg. 1 and 2. How's this arm feeling? 3, that supportive arm. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Bend the knee and lower the hips down.